التيم بالحق. مصدق التيم عشان ما preparatش. And we are
Uh,
live. It's not going to
okay,
play
we're gonna
because
sing the theme.
it's not going to play because I
We're
have to
gonna sing
prepare
the
it from
theme.
beforehand. Anyways, hey guys, welcome back to the Adler podcast. Today is episode number 50. We've hit a big 5-0. Franco, how's it going?
It's it should have been the Empty Man. It should have been the Empty Man episode, but
Should have been. Unfortunately, Joe isn't here, so
no,
that will be maybe
I
next
think
week.
maybe fortunately Joe is not here
True.
for you.
True. Oh, to be fair, Franco, this week I did not have time to watch a 3-hour movie. Yeah, with all the stuff I watched this week and all the work I had to do, I did not have the time to watch it anyway. So it would have been a bit of a fail of an Empty Man episode. Anyways, Franco, how's it
True.
going?
It's going. It's been quite a week. Finished reading another book, Oroda Reġeddar Dawra, by Nad. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Nadia Mafsoud. Quite a good, riveting read. Very emotional. Um, yeah, there was a bit of there was quite some drama this week. It's like like this week was like I wanted to just buzz off the country again because it's like, please guys, grow the fuck up. Yeah, if you allow me just a quick rant and then we get on. Okay, guys, last time we criti- critiqued your work. We are not here to make you feel bad, but we're not here to like tell you everything is good when something is objectively needs to be better. I'm commenting with regards the Malta Literary Review conundrum. There was some issue. This person was criticizing work anonymously. I felt these this person was actually shitting on the work, and I'm sorry if all you do is shit on the work and anonymously, you cannot be considered. I don't think you can consider yourself to be a critic. On the other hand, though, because part of the reason that the website closed was because some artists apparently threatened this person, and that is not on. And if you are an artist that whatever critique it is, be it good one, be it negative, be it constructive, being destructive, like this website was, if you don't take this critique in stride, like water out over a duck's back. I'm sorry, you're not considered to be an artist for me. I'm sorry. And it was really one of those moments where like we still have long to go. We're such a small country, and we are self-destructive. I've never like it. I forgot how self-destructive we are as a community, and it's a huge shame, a huge shame. So guys, let's try at least keep the community. Disagreements, there are going to be many disagreements, and I'm not saying don't not to have disagreements. What? Sorry, because there's the cat behind me. I'm not saying that not to have any disagreements whatsoever, but we are such a small community. Why the hell would we want to keep destroying ourselves? It's about time that we start building up ourselves. We are in such a disarray in this country. All we need is more disarray and more disagreements and more drama. I mean, grow the fuck up, guys. I'm speaking in general, but anyway, I'm gonna repeat this on for video nasties for sure because I have to say it. I know it's going to be fun, but it needs to be said to all the rest of the community. Otherwise, vote for me. I will be I will be going to be on the 17th district. No, I'm just going. So that's it. Now, but otherwise, yeah, I've seen Murder at the End of the World. I've seen Monarch. I was halfway through the fourth episode of The Curse, and I also saw together with Andrea Thanksgiving. But most importantly, there was also an important question that I have to ask you before we continue. What is the Adlib podcast all about?
Good question. The Adlib podcast is all about movies, all about series, all about video games. This week, we've got a ton of trailers. Here are all the trailers, right? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trailers. So we've got really quickly, I'm just going to go through the trailer for The Crown Season 6 Part 2, the final trailer. We've got a trailer for Furiosa, trailer for Fallout the series. We've got a trailer for Halo Season 2, trailer for The Boys Season 4, trailer for House of the Dragon Season 2, and a trailer for Godzilla X Kong The New Empire. So a ton of trailers
The
this
trailer
week
is out.
of Godzilla
The
X
trailer is
Kong.
out of Godzilla.
Yes.
Oh shit. Nice.
Yep.
By the
Oh,
way,
by the
Yella,
way,
thanks for
yeah.
the happy 50th.
And excited to see you next week for Video Nasties.
Sure.
That'll be good. Good to see you.
That's true. Speaking of Video Nasties, next week is going to be the resurrection of Video Nasties screw it, at Eden. It's not that we have like a million cinemas here in Malta, but we are not sponsored by Eden. We are sponsored by
Embassy, because thank you to Embassy for sponsoring this show. And let's have a quick look at what movies Embassy are showing this week. So, obviously, as you can see, they definitely are showing Napoleon. Napoleon has been doing great in Malta. In America, it's not been doing that well, but internationally, Napoleon has been doing pretty good. I mean, it's not going to make up its box office, definitely its budget, which was, I believe, around 200 million, but it's been doing well in the international market. Anyways, let's have a quick look at what is showing at Embassy Cinemas. And first of all, we have Renaissance, a film by Beyonce. We saw the trailer as well. And I have to be honest, I'm not a fan of Beyonce. I'm not a fan of that kind of pop music. But as a concert movie and as a behind the scenes movie, it looks fantastic. Honestly, I really wouldn't mind going to watch it, but probably I'll end up watching it at home. But it looks great. It looks great, and I can only imagine how great it sounds in Embassy Cinemas. Franco.
It's as long as Napoleon, so
it's very long. It's
like,
very long. very long. Apparently, it's doing very well at the box office as well, though. And one of the titles I saw as I was looking up news was Beyonce takes on Godzilla. Godzilla -1, obviously, in that case, which was one title I was like, wait, I've never expected to see this as a title with Beyonce taking on Godzilla. So, anyways.
Beyondzilla. We had Barbenheimer, we had Exor Swift, and now we have Beyondzilla.
It's not Godzilla X Kong, but Godzilla X Beyonce. Anyways, Napoleon, we've obviously got Napoleon as well, which, like I said, has been doing pretty well in the international box office. Definitely one for fans of, the historical biopics, good battle sequences. Obviously, I had my thoughts about it, and you can hear those thoughts in our review last week. Wish, which I went to watch this week. I also have thoughts about Wish. I will be, in fact, reviewing Wish later on. Wish, I'll say this. I think kids will have a good time watching it. I think if you're looking up movies, what should I watch with my kids, with my young kids? I think Wish, you can definitely do much worse than Wish. Very much looking forward to Wonka, which will be showing on Friday, 8th December. It will then be releasing completely the week after, but we're going to get an early screening in Embassy on Friday, 8th December. So excited to watch Wonka. Wonka, which has been getting some pretty positive reviews overall. Lots of praise for Timothée Chalamet's performance, obviously from the direction. I think it's looking to become a really good movie, and I'm very excited to watch it this Friday. Apart from that, we obviously also got Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which I think, safe to say, has been doing very well at the box office and has been a big hit both in Malta and especially in the US. Lots of viewers there for Hunger Games. The Marvels, which unfortunately has not been doing very well at the box office, but still, I think, well worth a trip to the cinema for exclusively the action sequences. And Tristian saying, looking forward for Wonka and Timothy. I, I know she's a big fan of Timothy Chalamet. A big reason why she really liked Dune as well. And Five Nights at
and
Freddy's.
Call Me
Franco.
by Your Name most probably as well. I
Yeah.
haven't seen
Yeah.
Call Me by Your Name. So no. Five Nights at Freddy's still going strong,
Still going strong, yes. I can only imagine how many sweaty gamers go watch Five Nights at Freddy's every day.
No.
No. I think Five Nights at Freddy's has been a great hit with many viewers. It's been doing great at the box office as well, both in America and on in international markets. Again, I have to be honest here. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but I've always said, definitely this is one for fans of the games. I think if you're a fan of the game and a fan of the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's, you're going to love it. I'm pretty sure about that. And to conclude, another movie that I think is very, very well worth a trip to the cinema. If you are a family, if you want to take your kids to go watch a fun little movie, Trolls Band Together. The animation, I'm going to be honest, looks great for Trolls Band Together. So there's that very colorful, very creative animation, and voice acting sounds great as well. So overall, I think Trolls Band Together is a very good time at the cinema. So thank you very much to Embassy for sponsoring this show. And with that, let's get into... Oh, I have to talk about what I watched. So really quickly, let me just skim through what I've watched. This week, I watched Waterloo. I watched Waterloo this week. I had a good time watching it. I was inspired, kind of like, I've been having a good time watching. I had an okay time. Let's say okay time, didn't have a good time. Watching Napoleon. So I was like, what should I watch next? I'm in this like Napoleonic era vibe. So I was like, oh, Waterloo. I've heard Waterloo has great battle sequences, and holy shit, it's got some insane battles. I read, Franco, that it had over 15,000 extras, which is crazy.
One of the biggest at that time. So extras.
I believe the biggest. I believe it's the biggest till today. The most extras there ever has been in a movie. Because I looked it up for the review that I wrote on our Facebook page. By the way, like our Facebook page. And whilst we're at it, all viewers and listeners, hello, we've got 6 viewers right now. Hello, say hello in the chat. Let us know what you've been up to, what you've been watching. Don't forget to like, appease the algorithm
gods.
and show YouTube that you really enjoy the Adler podcast. Anyways, back to Waterloo.
And let's make sure that by the 100th episode, Andrea watches Empty Man. So write it down in the chat, because it's 50. Joe will be coming back in a force. 50 down already.
50 down, 50 to go for the big Empty Man episode. At Taraha, I managed to save myself 50 episodes again, 50 weeks to watch Empty Man. So yeah, Waterloo was a great watch. I mean, some of the performances were a little iffy. I mean, honestly, Rod Steiger's take on Napoleon was being very, very out there, very, I would call it epic and very, you can tell this is the guy that you would follow to your death, unlike the Joaquin Phoenix Napoleon, who I wouldn't follow to go to a McDonald's and buy a burger, honestly, because that performance was not one I enjoyed at all. But then obviously, Rod Steiger's take is more like out there, more dramatic, more, I'd say, like more one you'd imagine on a stage. Like it was a bit exaggerated at times. But I enjoyed it. I had a good time. Christopher Plummer makes a very, very, very good Arthur Wesley as well. I thought he was great in this. Some very, very great quotable moments. The scene where what I forgot the names of the commander, but there's one scene where you've got one of the generals who loses their leg, and they're like, "Good God, I've just lost my leg," and then Wesley turns to him and is like, "Heavens, so you have." And it's like such a British moment. It's just entertaining moments like these which really make the movie. But then obviously you've got the beautiful vistas, the massive armies. This is what Napoleon should have been, honestly, because even just seeing all those soldiers, no CGI in sight, although the CGI in Napoleon was great. So I had a really good time watching Waterloo. Have you watched it, Franco?
No, never, not yet. I was thinking of trying to watch a bit of classic movies like noirs, for example. Now that it's Christmas time, I should get to watch It's a Wonderful Life with that's James Stewart, right?
Oh, love it,
If I'm
love
not
it, love it. Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah, yeah. I watched it last Christmas. We had such a good time watching it.
Yeah, maybe who knows? Maybe I want to try and watch something for Christmas. Maybe Harry Potter. I don't know, or that one. But I think I'm gonna go for It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a good choice. Good choice. Definitely a good choice. What else have I watched? A series I watched. Monarch, Legacy of Monsters. I just finished it right now. Episode 4. Franco, you watched this, right? Episode 4.
Yes, yes, yes.
I have to say, I it lost me at this episode. I'm too much focus on what's her name. I forgot on May. Oh, I honestly, I couldn't care less about any of the younger characters.
It's
Like May, Kate a little bit, yes, because Kate had a very good. I think that was episode 1. She had some strong moments in episode 1. Kate, so Kate, like I
mm,
care about her. But even Kentaro, like I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. Give me Wyatt Russell. Give me Wyatt Russell. I want more Wyatt Russell. He was so good in the first few episodes. I want to see more of that. I want to see more monsters. I want to see more of Monarch. And then I got an episode of building up characters I couldn't care less about. It's this episode lost me. I was really bored watching this. Really, really bored, which is
well,
a pity.
but there was a quotable moment by Ken Russell. Come to dinner, come to dinner, bitch.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, yes. But again, the Russells are doing great. I mean, I like obviously we've got the Russells doing a really, 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 doing their best. Honestly, especially obviously Kurt Russell, it's effortless. Wyatt Russell, like I said, I really liked his character, really liked his performance so far. But please, just
To,
Godzilla eats the kids now and free us from this torture. Oh my god, I can't stand them. Huh?
Lol.
I honestly I
Maybe
can't
they should
stand
have
them.
been. They should have been at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But
That's a really good segue.
I have to agree. I have to agree a bit with you. Not only that one, but even the curse. The halfway through the curse, I lost like I didn't. It didn't keep me at. I mean, it started off well. Like, what the hell was happening with certain mysteries when the Benny the character wakes up in the car and is like, "Where
I
am I?"
haven't watched it, Franco. By the way,
And
Curse, I
then
didn't manage to watch it.
episode 4. No, I've like I said, I'm halfway in.
Episode
I
4.
think I have to go. I want to continue it. I want to
Mm-hmm.
continue it and then see where it goes because it
Mm-hmm.
dips a bit in the middle of the episode. I think it has to. Something has got to give. It's like it's for now. It doesn't seem that it's moving forward for any resolution, like murder at the end of the world. Because I feel that
So
sense of momentum. In the
yes,
story.
talking about Murder at the End of the World. That's another series I watched this week. Episode 4, great episode. Again, it's beautiful, so beautifully shot. The colors in Murder at the End of the World are
So
so
oh,
beautiful.
the
The vistas,
the
the
contrast between
setting.
for sure and the contrast between the cold environment and the warm. There was a really nice shot of them kissing, Darby and Bill.
Bill, yeah.
No,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Darby and
Yeah,
Bill. It
Bill,
was
Bill
so.
Farah.
Yeah, Bill Farah. Thanks. It was so beautiful, and yeah, it's very well filmed. Still, the mystery. I wonder how the mystery is going to end up. I'm really intrigued by it.
Yes, I think if I had to choose which series I'm enjoying the most from all 3 that I'm watching currently, I'd say it's Murder at the End of the World is the one I'm most
Same
into.
time.
The Curse as well, I'm enjoying it, but I haven't watched episode 4. You're saying you didn't really like it so far. Episode
No,
4.
so far, no. It started off strongly and then it dips. That's what happened.
Hmm, hmm. So again, and to conclude with this, I have to say the final scene, not the exact final scene, but the one before. Um, great tension. Really, really good tension. We see
Yes,
Xian
yes,
trying
yes.
to take off her helmet.
A helmet. That's a good
That's
tension.
so good, man. That's such a great scene. Great
This
scene.
is,
So
and they even the twist in like okay, what's happened?
it's very well written, great performances, really well done. I'm so super excited to watch the next episode. So that is Murder at the End of the World. Apart from that, obviously, I watched Wish, I watched The Holdovers, I watched Thanksgiving, which I'll be reviewing. I forgot something, I believe.
Illallo. I didn't manage to watch the
Um,
Holdovers. Maybe
and
I'll watch it
May
tonight and
December.
then
May
May
December. May
December.
December is also very, very good. I'll be reviewing all of those
Sorry,
later on.
sorry, sir, I didn't do my homework. So,
Don't worry, don't worry.
by the way, congratulations Inter for winning 3-0. Oh my
Yes.
god.
Ah, bitch, what a performance. Like the goal we saw, the Chalanoglu goal
Yeah,
was insane. Such a great
it was
goal.
very good. It was
Ah,
very
man,
good.
and that strike. I love those clean strikes. So when you hit the ball as a volley and the ball just like turns slightly, but such a clean strike. Those shots are a dream. A
Float.
dream.
It just floats above like a ghost over over grass basically.
Exactly.
Anyway,
And with
guys,
that, shall we get into it?
yes, we have 8 people watching. Say hi to us, guys. We don't bite. Save your football fans, and we're now going for the trailers.
Trailers, because this week, Franco, I was prepared. I knew what was going to happen. I knew exactly what was going to happen because this week was the week of CCXP, which is basically like an expo in Brazil. And it's the same thing happened last year as well. So I was well prepared for this, where we had a ton of like big franchises showing off. Hello, Kate. Hope you're doing well, Kate.
Hello, Kate.
So ton of films, shows, and different kinds of entertainment showing off at CCXP. And just to go through the stands they had, we have the House of the Dragon, which we'll be commenting about the trailer in a little bit. We have Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, which will be coming out, I believe, on the 22nd of December. Obviously, Disney 100. With that regard, we'll be talking about Wish later on as well. Wonka, which is releasing in Malta on Friday. Star Trek. I'm not a big fan of Star Trek, so I can't comment about that here. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Good to see that getting some attention as well. I think that was a fun little movie. Hunger Games as well, getting its own stand. Masters of the Universe. Borderlands. The Borderlands series. What happened to the Borderlands series? Oh, sorry, film. The
I
Eli
don't
Roth
know.
one. I haven't heard about.
Eli Roth.
Summer 2024. Mela.
Ostia.
That's a great combination, because Borderlands is super bloody. So that's going to be a
So,
really good combination.
okay.
And Kate Blanchett as Lily. That's
As
going
Lilith.
to be so good, so good. I'm looking forward to that. And obviously Funko Pop and some other booths.
Oh shit!
At
With Tim Miller
CCXP.
had to step in. Oh my god. Okay.
So due obviously to CCXP taking place, we got a ton of trailers. To get through the first trailer, which has unfortunately nothing to do with CCXP, we had the trailer for The Crown, season 6, part 2. Just a quick comment from as a big fan of The Crown. Again, I'm stoked to see this like The Crown's interpretation of the whole Charles drama. Obviously, watching it, I was like, oh my god! Like, I remember watching this stuff, going from the 1950s, The Crown, where it's stuff that's like super historical and stuff I've read about, but obviously I didn't live through, to stuff that I remember watching in sixth form, basically. It's fascinating. It's really fascinating. Anyways, obviously we're going to be seeing the family kind of like reeling from the death of
Diana.
Diana. Looking forward to see more of Dominic West, Prince Charles. Looking forward especially to seeing Claire Foy, because apparently there is going to be some shots of Claire Foy, and also we might be seeing Olivia Colman as well in it. And The Crown will be coming out part 2 on December 14th. So that's 10 days from today. Really looking forward to watching The Crown part 2. Moving on to the first of many CCXP trailers. Franco, have you ever played the Halo series?
No, I'm not. I'm not the gamer. I think we
Yeah,
should have established that by now.
yeah. So I'm a big fan of Halo, and I think Halo as a game, as a video game, is perfect to be transformed into either a movie or a series. Um, Honestly, season one of Halo was one of my biggest disappointments of the past few years. Honestly, I was so excited for it. I know Paramount Plus threw a lot of money at the series, and I was expecting great stuff because the soundtrack, the characters, the lore is so fascinating. It's perfectly made for a movie or a series. And I have to say, the shit we got for season one was really disappointing. Like, there was more attention given to Master Chief's butt cheeks than to actually developing a well-made Halo story. I'm sorry, but I have to say it. But, let's hope that they have learned from their mistakes in season one. And to be fair, the direction the kind of like they seem to be going for at the end of season one of Halo seemed to be the right direction. Anyways, let's have a look at the trailer for season two of Halo. Paramount Plus wasn't messing around when they decided they'd have a panel at this year's CCXP in Brazil. Of course, the streamer knew fans were thirsty for Halo information, any at all, since production has been mostly in radio silence ever since season one ended. That's why they delivered on the series, and fans can once again get hyped about the video game adaptation, with the first trailer finally being unveiled. The news was unveiled on stage by none other than Halo star Pablo Schreiber, who, by the way, Pablo Schreiber himself makes a great Master Chief. I think he's the perfect choice for Master Chief. It's the writing that's the issue here, the writing and the CGI, which is awful at times. Who plays Master Chief John 117 in the series? He took the stage along with series newcomer Joseph Morgan and showrunner David Weiner, who previously wrote for Fear the Walking Dead and developed sci-fi series Brave New World. Trio received a warm welcome, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, as we could anticipate, season two will be a lot more action-packed than the first one, especially now that John has figured out bits and pieces of his past and has discovered that he can't even trust his own memories. That was one of my biggest criticisms for a Halo series. Halo Season 1 had barely any action. To be fair, there were 1-2 action sequences. The action sequence at the end of Season 1, whilst I thought it was fine, the CGI for that was horrible. Horrible. Franco, I think you had commented about Corridor Crew, right?
Yeah,
Commenting about
they compared it to the game footage and also compared it to Neil Blomkamp's. Neil Blomkamp did a version for YouTube one time, and it is actually a good. I mean, for its budget and it's being meant for YouTube, it looked amazing. It was very well done. I mean, again, hopefully, Halo 2 will get back on its feet. Sorry.
Indeed. Even though Halo started filming in late 2022, a release date never got officially announced through 2023. Apparently, yeah, it's going to be releasing Halo Season 2. The first episode, or maybe 2 episodes, will be releasing on February 8th. So am I excited for Halo Season 2? I mean, I'll watch it. I'll watch it because I'm a big fan of Halo. I'm not that excited. I'll watch it though. I'll try it. I'll give it a try. Moving on to another big video game, which is one I'm sure our viewers and listeners will be excited to hear about, which is Fallout, because we got also the trailer for Fallout, which will be releasing on Amazon's Prime Video on April 12th, or a day before my birthday. Fallout is a great video game. Like I told you, Franco, yesterday, there's Fallout 1, 2, 3, 4. There's New Vegas, there's Fallout 76, and there's the shitty mobile game. No, actually, I've heard it's a good mobile game, to be fair. Anyways, long story short, it's a post-apocalyptic world where we see the survivors surviving in like bunkers underground. And then you've got obviously the people who were exposed to the radiation and so on either become ghouls if they are exposed heavily to radiation, or or else we've got well, we can see the scene here, or else they turn into this. Now, I was telling you yesterday, Franco, about Fallout, and then I'll get into a quick description of it. I can see that the aesthetic they're going for is clearly the Fallout 4 kind of aesthetic, which personally I'm not a big fan of. I was a much bigger fan of the Fallout 1, 2, 3 aesthetic, which is more gritty, more more bloody, more brutal, right? That's more up my alley. This is more like almost, I'd call it family friendly,
Whimsical.
It's
Whimsical.
whimsical, more whimsical. Yeah, exactly. That's the perfect word. More whimsical, where they play more into the humor, which, to be fair, Fallout always had a lot of humor and always had a lot of like jabs at society, and there's that.
I'm watching the trailer on another window. That's why I just saw that huge ass cockroach walking around.
Yes, the walkers. Overall, let's get into the details, and then I'll give my final comment about it. Adapted by acclaimed television veterans Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy, and starring Ella Purnell, Walton Goggins, and Aaron Moten, we finally received our first teaser trailer, giving a glimpse at the nuclear wasteland brought to life. The series has been advertised as a new chapter in the franchise that can stand toe-to-toe with the stories of the post-apocalyptic, retro-futuristic video games. Details of Fallout were kept mostly under wraps until its appearance at the convention, with a panel today featuring Purnell, Goggins, and Moten, alongside Nolan and co-showrunner Graham Wagner. In addition to discussing the series at length with the public on the iconic Thunder stage, they presented the footage, which was filled with familiar imagery for Fallout fans, like the experimental vaults, the dogmatic, technology-heavy Brotherhood of Steel, lingering throwbacks to the 40s and 50s, and the Ghoul, one of the people mutated into a monstrous form by the radiation in the wasteland. The series takes place over 200 years after the Great War, which drove humanity into the underground vaults to avoid being annihilated by nuclear bombs. One thing I wanted to say, Franco, did you finish the whole trailer?
Almost, but it looks kind of. It looks there is a bit of bloodiness and gore.
yes, it's very gory. One thing I'm very much looking forward to, and this is something I really like about post-apocalyptic movies and series, is when they show the ending. That snap of, yes, this is the world that was, and this is what happened
to
turn it into the post-apocalyptic world, which is the final scene we get in the trailer, which I think is probably the best scene in the whole trailer, where we see all the explosion, nuclear bombs going up, and you see that beautiful wide shot. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing that. I'm looking forward to seeing all those little tidbits, all those fun little Fallout tidbits, whether it's the humor. Like I said, there's a lot of humor in Fallout. I think the aesthetics overall look great, and I mean, you're adapting Fallout. How can the aesthetics not be great?
Not be great, yeah.
Again, I'm looking forward also to having characters that are interesting, because one of the great things about especially Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3, which are my personal favorite Fallout, the great characters, great characters, fantastic characters in Fallout. So I'm very excited to having that. And obviously the action. You can't have Fallout without great action. So I'm looking forward to those things. Franco, you finished the trailer. What do you think?
Oh, it looks interesting. Even set-wise, and it looks very lived-in, grungy. I might be interested to have a good look at it as well. So
hopefully it is Prime Video's The Last of Us.
True. Hopefully that's right.
And again, we've got Amazon throwing a lot of money at this. I mean, you can tell from just watching the trailer that they've thrown a lot of money at this.
Let's hope it's not what's it called, the Lord of the Rings, like a fanboy, a fanboy version.
Yes, that's true. Anyways, and that is Fallout. Another trailer I'm excited to talk about is The Boys. The Boys Season 4 trailer takes a diabolical turn. The Boys are back in town in 2024. Oi, Amazon Prime Video is dishing out some diabolical greatness today with the reveal of the first trailer for season 4 of The Boys. Team is back in action and ready to smash some skulls and turn out some innards in a jam-packed trailer that has just as much blood, guts, gore, and cursing as one could expect from the satirical superhero series. This is a big one for fans of The Boys, as it's our first look into season 4 after the third season bowed out a full year and a half ago. Jesus, that's a year and a half ago already. Anyways, looking at this trailer, we can see, obviously, we're going to see a big focus. Dikin naqra nuka kola tkun trida. Yella, are you a fan of the Fallout games? And which one would you say is your favorite? I think from what I can tell, yeah, Yella is a big fan of the Fallout games. So back to The Boys. Clearly, Franco, I don't know if you've watched the trailer, but there's a clear direction that this series is going into, and it's going to focus a lot on the division between, I mean, it's quite obvious, the left and the right? And I think that's going to be a major theme in The Boys season 4, with obviously the left represented by Starlight's followers, and the right, represented by the Homeland followers.
Homelander.
And we see there's one scene, it's a beautiful scene where you see the clash taking place between both followers, and you see Homelander at the back smiling. That's a fucking great scene. That's a really, really good scene. And it looks like, in fact, Homelander is going to allow the tension to boil over before swooping in to save the day. And they mentioned Julius Caesar. That's a great, great little reference. I love that reference.
Everyone thinking about the Roman Empire.
Yes, everyone thinking about the Roman Empire. First of all, we've got obviously several spots on the 7, so it's going to be interesting to see new members of the 7. Also, we saw Black Noir. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out, with Black Noir appearing again in season 4. So it's going to be an interesting thing to see. And obviously, again, bloody excited to see all the boys back in town, like Collider told us, and seeing them take on Homelander. Franco, you watched season 3, right, of The Boys?
No, not yet. I'm sorry.
You haven't? Oh my god.
But I've seen the first 2 seasons. Always like it. So yeah. Why? I seen some bits though. Yes, I seen.
Yeah, you've seen some bits. And like I always say, when we were coming up to Gen V, I was like, not too convinced about Gen V. I'm not really that excited about it. Is going to focus too much on the teenage angst? Franco.
Sorry, because I just saw the trailer, and exactly when Homelander smiles, the Prime Video logo comes out.
Yes. That scene with Homelander smiling, all bloody. That's I love Homelander.
And Jeffrey Dean
Such
Morgan.
a great character.
That's interesting. Negan.
Yes, we need to talk about Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who he hasn't appeared so far, right? In The Boys, has he?
No, I don't think. No, it hasn't been. No.
As far as I can remember, he hasn't. So that's going to be a really interesting combination there. Again, I'm super excited, super stoked for The Boys. I mean, Boys has slowly become one of my all-time favorite series. Honestly, there's the humor, and like the themes it touches upon, the way it tackles like politics and the division in the US, the way it tackles all these things, and the fact that it pokes fun at all like sides. It's not one side takes all the hits and the other side is like goes by scot-free. No way. It's like it pokes fun at everything. Great humor, great gore, great visuals. Yes, Fallout 4. Australia, no, I'm not the biggest fan of Fallout 4. I played it for hundreds of hours. I played Fallout 4 for hundreds of hours when it came out. But I'm a much bigger fan of Fallout New Vegas. I think the characters in Fallout New Vegas are perfecto. So very much looking forward to season 4 of The Boys. And with that, Franco, I'm curious to see your thoughts on the next trailer, which is a trailer for one of my personal favorite series of all time, House of the Dragon. I wish Joe was here as well, because Joe has a lot of thoughts about House of the Dragon.
Wait.
Because HBO unveiled the first trailer for the Game of Thrones prequel, also at CCXP. After HBO made us suffer through 2023 waiting for season 2 of House of the Dragon, the network finally decided to throw fans a bone during Brazilian fan event Comic Con Experience. During its panel, HBO unveiled a bunch of news from its slate of content, and one of them was the highly anticipated first teaser trailer for the Game of Thrones prequel series. Teaser trailer for House of Dragon Season 2 invites us back to Westeros in order to keep on discovering what happened with the Targaryen dynasty centuries before Daenerys came along to claim the Iron Throne. Once again, we'll catch up with Daemon Targaryen and Queen Rhaenyra Targaryen as they antagonize each other over the domain of Westeros territories after the shocking events of the season 1 finale. I think, I have to be honest, the ending for season 1 of House of the Dragon, one of the all-time best endings I have ever watched for a series. That scene with Rhaenyra, Emma Darcy turning around, and her look, the performance by Emma Darcy in that scene was stunning. And seeing her look go, her emotions go from absolutely being devastated from, by the way, before I get into it, spoilers for the whole of season 1 of House of the Dragon coming up now. So you've been warned. But seeing her look of absolute being completely distraught with the death of her son to that slow and like beautiful transformation of pure rage and anger, that scene was chef's kiss. I love that scene so much. And, watching that scene now, that was absolute torture at the same time. It's like, oh my God, I need season 2 right now. Anyways, in 2024, we'll get to know what other shady deals Daemon will try to make in order to wage war while Rhaenyra is still dealing with the series of deaths that put her on the path to the throne, including her father's. But if there's one thing we know from the ruthless Westeros universe is that Rhaenyra will have to fight hard against her own family and others in order to keep her title. And 2 things are certain to happen. Season 2, blood will be shed and people will be burned. And people will burn 100%. Franco, what did you think about season 1 of House of the Dragon? And are you looking forward to season 2?
I watched it all. All of the episodes. Rewatched it the season twice. No, I haven't seen any of the Game of Thrones, man. I'm genuinely like I'm tuned out of it. I heard so many people talking of Game of Thrones and this one House of Dragon, and I'm like, not touching it. Sorry for the Game of Thrones fans. I know it must be a very like great series, but except season 8, right?
Well, if we're going to go into Game of Thrones, I would say anything after season 6 for me was a disappointment. Season 6 had some very good episodes, individual episodes, but overall as a season 6, season 7, season 8, very disappointing for me personally. I know not everyone will agree with that. Not everyone will agree with that. But I personally, starting off from seasons, and even to be honest, some parts of season 5 as well were disappointing. I would say the highlights are season 1, 2, 3, 4, with season 3 and 4 being blowouts for me. But I mean, even season 1 and 2, to be honest, were absolute perfect TV. Perfect TV. No criticism. Season 1, season 2, 3, 4 for me are perfect television. Some of the best seasons ever of TV.
I can't be. I'm sorry, I'm not bothered with it. But guys, enjoy it. I think you're looking forward to it, right?
Ooh, 100% looking forward to this. I'm so excited to watch season 2 of House of the Dragon.
I'm
Me and my
I'm
girlfriend,
trying to
we
see.
just. What happened, Franco?
The cat over here.
Okay. Is Yelka excited for House of the Dragon?
Like, oh, she heard
Leka,
me.
sorry, Leka.
Yeah,
Leka.
she looks excited. Yes.
Definitely. If I was a cat, I'd be excited for House of the Dragon as well. And looking forward also to see like how the whole story is going to develop. I had to stop. I was reading. Oh my God, what's the name of the book? I was reading the book basically, which is what this series is based on, which is George R. R. Martin's kind of like history book, Targaryen history book. And I was reading it. I kind of stopped where season 1 stopped because I didn't want to ruin season 2. So I don't know if maybe this Christmas I'll continue reading it. Right now I'm working on The Witcher, though. I have to finish The Witcher books. Anyway, so that is House of the Dragon Season 2. And to conclude, we have another two big trailers. And the first one we'll get into, which is also the thumbnail for this week's podcast on YouTube, is the big Furiosa trailer, which has had some interesting reactions on social media, and I'm very interested to talk about it with you, Franco, because you obviously you know your CGI and you know your visuals, and obviously, as you know, there's been a lot of discussion about the visuals for Furiosa. Anyways, what is Furiosa? Up until today, Mad Max Fury Road fans were hyped up enough by the sheer idea of Furiosa. Almost 10 years in the making, the prequel centers around fan favorite Imperator Furiosa, who was played by Charlize Theron, who, by the way, incredible performance in Mad Max Fury Road in the 2015 movie. Now, with the role taken over by Anya Taylor-Joy, it's finally time to get a glimpse at how the highly anticipated movie is looking like. And the Warner Brothers panel at Brazil's Comic-Con experience unveiled just that, premiering the first trailer for the highly anticipated movie. Panel wrapped up the first day of the event, and it featured Taylor-Joy and Chris Hemsworth, who were welcomed with a massive fanfare from fans present at the Thunder stage. Hemsworth expressed his love for Brazilian fans, had previously given him an equally warm welcome to promote Extraction 2, which I think was a great little movie. Longtime Mad Max director George Miller joined Hemsworth and Taylor-Joy on the stage, and he talked about sticking with the franchise for so long. It's not that common for directors to helm every entry in a franchise. And so far, Miller has directed all Mad Max installments ever since the film series kicked off in 1979. Anyways, what about the trailer? Obviously, fans were extremely excited to check out the first look at Furiosa, which is something we've all been looking forward to ever since the movie started revving up the engine in 2020. The movie is set to premiere in May. Interesting. It's set to premiere in May. There's a lot to be discovered about Furiosa, including how it ultimately ties in with Mad Max Fury Road. So far, we know that the movie will explain how Furiosa ended up trapped with Immortan Joe. The lack of Mad Max in the title suggests that Max Rokatansky, played by Mel Gibson and Tom Hardy, won't. I honestly, I don't think I've ever heard that surname used. Was it ever used in the Mad Max movies?
No, never. Because
His
only
surname.
just Max. I think maybe in the. I haven't seen the original trilogy. Again,
You
sorry.
haven't? Oh, they're great. They're great stuff.
I'm blaspheming. This is blaspheming episodes. I haven't seen House of the Dragon or Game of Thrones. Haven't seen the original Mad Max. Okay, they were also they weren't mentioned in the trilogy. Then
Sorry, Franco, I
they
didn't hear you.
they weren't mentioned in the trilogy. Then, right?
Yes, the Immortan Joe definitely was mentioned.
No,
yes, all the main characters.
Rokatansky. I'm saying Rokatansky.
Oh, that's why I asked you. I don't remember if his surname was used.
I
in
definitely
the
don't
original.
remember. I haven't seen.
Because I haven't watched that. Anyways, have you watched the trailer, Franco? And what are your
Yes,
thoughts about it?
yes. I'm not sure. I think what now I've watched it again is she has Anya Taylor-Joy has really particular eyes, and apparently I think with the color grading, what they did was enhance her eyes even more. So there was this kind of like very strange, like the eyes were almost as if they were glowing. Otherwise, I didn't see much of the CGI bothering me that at all. But although I do look,
Chris Hemsworth.
excuse me,
Chris Hemsworth. Oh, man.
no, Cruz.
He looks so good in this.
Yeah, and he looks like he's ready to be like to take himself less seriously, like with the nose as well.
And even his introduction is great in the trailer as well. Lady
And
and
gentlemen.
gentlemen, those little tidbits of it was the same with Mad Max Fury Road. You have like they make these like grammatical errors which are done on purpose to show that like how society has developed since obviously we're in a post-apocalyptic world here as well. I think I'm super stoked to see Chris Hemsworth in this. I think Chris Hemsworth has had one of the better careers so far. Well, it's funny to say post Marvel because he's still Thor. and they're still developing a new Thor apparently.
Yeah.
But like minus Thor, I think he's developed his career in a very interesting way compared to his peers at Marvel.
True.
And this I think this is a great role which can help him again diversify his career and open him up to a new style of
I
movies.
mean,
To be honest.
hold on. There was Robert Downey Jr. with a great performance in Oppenheimer as well.
Yes. Robert Downey Jr. But I mean, apart from Robert Downey Jr., honestly, how
Mark,
many of
Mark,
the
Mark
big-
Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo.
No, but Mark Ruffalo was always like Mark Ruffalo is Mark Ruffalo. He's like indie darling. He's done already a bunch of great movies on his own. The Dark Waters, and he had what was the one that won the Oscar in 2015? Spotlight. Coincidentally, coming up against Mad Max Fury Road for the Best Picture. Yeah, there was that Mad Max Fury Road, The Revenant competing for Best Picture that year, and Spotlight took it. To be honest, if I had to choose, I would choose Mad Max Fury Road because that is one of my all-time favorite movies. But to talk about the visuals, so you mentioned Anya Taylor-Joy's eyes. Here we go. To talk about the visuals, I've seen this misconception, Franco. I don't know if you've seen this as well. This misconception. I've seen this misconception of Mad Max Fury Road in 2015 had a lot of practical work done, and that's true, 100% true. Pretty much all the stunts were real stunts in Mad Max Fury Road. But if you think that there is one scene in Mad Max Fury Road which was not touched up by CGI, I'm sorry, you're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. But if you think that there is one single scene in Mad Max Fury Road which was not touched up by CGI, you're an idiot. I'm going to come out straight out and say it. And I've seen this argument made about there's too much CGI by a ton of so-called YouTube movie experts and experts on Twitter. You are an idiot because Mad Max Fury Road is filled with CGI, but there's a difference between Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania CGI and Mad Max Fury Road CGI. Franco, you linked me a video. I haven't watched it. I just saw the title, and that's perfect. What was it?
This is a great video that also our viewers should watch. That it's no CGI. It's really just invisible CGI. You know who uses CGI, invisible CGI? David Fincher and The Killer. Like there was so much.
The Killer. Oh my God.
So it's so well hidden, and he is a master in hiding CGI. And like even the last Love, Death and Robots, his CGI episode was really great. Like he's
Beautiful,
really
beautiful.
having fun with it. Yeah,
The ship one, right? The ship one
The
with
ship
the
one, the
beast.
ship one
and
with
the-
the-
Oh my God, that was so good. So good. So good. Great stuff.
and yeah, there was this guy, a Danish visual effects artist. Sorry, I forgot the name. Actually, just a second, because I have the video calling me out here. So the channel is called The Movie Rabbit Hole, and the title of the video is "No CGI is really just invisible CGI."
Exactly.
It's a 4-part series, and he starts with Top Gun Maverick. And he said something interesting. Yeah, I mean, of course, they were filmed practically, but it doesn't mean there was no CGI. the jets going with the jets going around, and they retouched basically the landscape and the sky. And obviously,
Sorry, Franco.
no, I was going to say, obviously, there's the issue of safety. I mean, it's impossible to have
100%.
untrained pilots, even though Tom Cruise was piloting one of the jets himself. You cannot have a formation with untrained pilots neither.
So with regard to, I mean, even just watching Mad Max Fury, can you honestly look at the background of Mad Max Fury Road? See the heavy contrast and heavy stylization that there's going in that movie. And honestly think that was not touched up by CGI. If you think that's the case, I'm sorry, but you shouldn't be commenting about movies on YouTube and on Twitter.
Peak teal and orange, Max Fury Road. Peak teal and orange.
But now, the bad CGI. Is it true that there is some CGI that still needs work in the trailer? 100%. But Joe brought this to my attention, and Joe told me to look at the old first teaser trailer for Mad Max Fury Road, which I did. And there is a lot of underdeveloped CGI in that trailer. Looking at it, I was like, wow. I mean, how was I excited for this movie watching? So there is a lot of underdeveloped CGI in that as well. Give it time. This movie comes out in May. They're still working on post-processing. Give it time. This movie is directed by one of the all-time greatest visual directors in George Miller. I think by now, it's safe to say we can trust him.
Another 85-year-old.
Yep. And a lot of work has gone into this movie. Like we said, there's been 10 years plus work on this movie. So I think I trust George Miller and his visual touch more than some Twitter personalities. But anyways, overall, I am super stoked, super excited for Furiosa. I am so excited to watch this. I downloaded the trailer onto Plex, and I watched it in like full 4K, and it looks stunning on my LG TV. And the sound, the song in the background for the trailer, perfect. That's another thing I'm really excited for. Tom Holkenberg's soundtrack, because the soundtrack for Mad Max Fury Road was a rip-roaring soundtrack. I still hear it today when I'm doing some work, or Junkie XL. Exactly, Tom Holkenberg. He's great. I love him. I love his soundtracks. Anyways, to conclude with the last trailer of the day, before we really quickly skim through the news, and then we'll get to the reviews. The reviews are more important. Godzilla x Kong, the new empire. So, Funko, fortunately, the recent episodes have been very MonsterVerse, very strong MonsterVerse episodes. We've been talking a lot about, obviously, Monarch. I had my whole Godzilla and King Kong rewatches. So, director Adam Wingard unveiled new footage from the upcoming MonsterVerse movie at CCXP. Kaiju fans can hardly believe we've made it this far in the MonsterVerse, but the fact of the matter is we can't get enough of Godzilla and King Kong wreaking havoc in major cities. This is why Godzilla x Kong, the New Empire, earned its own panel during Brazil's CCXP, which featured the movie's director Adam Wingard. Filmmaker has now unveiled a highly anticipated first-look trailer for the upcoming blockbuster. So far, all fans had to see was a teaser trailer that revealed a potentially dangerous creature that sat on a throne among bones and skulls, including that of Godzilla and Kong. While it's too early, while it didn't reveal much in terms of story, it suggested that much like in 2021's Godzilla vs. Kong, the two massive beasts will have to once again join forces to fight a common enemy. If the teaser is to be believed, though, they lose. Well, I don't think they're going to lose, honestly. And Soma, they might do an interesting twist to it where they lose.
We'll see, because when I saw this, I'm like, what, the last scene when they're running together.
Okay, let's talk about the last scene. Because I think the last scene is horrible. What do you think, Franco?
With them running together, that scene is like.
I think that's the most important scene which we have to talk about.
I mean, it looks cheesy and campy as it could be. It looks very video gamey as well. Huh?
Yes, very very video game.
I mean, if we have to say this scene, yes.
This scene. Oh my god, this scene looks so.
It looks like
so campy. You know what it reminds me of, Franco? You know that scene of Godzilla floating and drop kicking? It's that kind of camp.
Yes,
there's a funny meme of Godzilla floating and drop kicking. Yeah.
Yes.
It's that kind of camp. Now, are they going for that kind of camp? If they do, please don't bog this movie down with fucking teenagers crying about Godzilla. I don't give a fuck about the teenagers crying. I couldn't care less about your feelings. If you're going to go for the camp, please go for the campiness. Please go all out, bonkers, crazy.
I mean, Godzilla,
it doesn't have to be a good movie.
Godzilla got his pink on, so that's one camp over there. So
he changed his skin. He got his new Fortnite skin.
True. I mean, this looks like a cutscene of Jah Kamem. I hope Adam Wingard is directing it again.
He's the
Listen,
same Godzilla versus Kong, right? It's the
which
same
which
director.
was which was very enjoyable. I enjoyed it, Godzilla versus Kong, especially the Hong Kong the Hong Kong
The neon scene, right?
that
The
was
phone neon scene.
amazing. Seeing this trailer, I was like, okay, what's going on? Please, and I cannot understand how immediately when I saw the helicopters, I said they look so CGI. If they were complaining about Furiosa, they haven't seen this trailer for sure.
One thing I noticed, Frank, I don't know if you noticed as well. Um, do you- I mean, obviously, looking at this and then thinking about the 2014 Godzilla, what, there's a big like change, right? Obviously,
Hmm.
in tone and everything, but there's something weird about the way they move. It's like it feels like there's no weight
There's no
behind their
wait. Yes,
movement.
yes, yes. There's no
This is
wait.
just me thinking it because when I
That,
watched it,
that
I burst out laughing. I was like,
play
"What?"
play. I did as well. I did as well. Like, can you play it a bit, please? Because
Let me
I
play
think
it
I
again.
think so basically I'm trying to see what's going on.
There's no punchiness about it. There's no weight.
I
Whilst when you watch the 2014 Godzilla, every movement Godzilla has so much weight and power. It's like everything, any movement he does, everything
and
being destroyed,
yeah,
and it's
and that's one thing. That's one thing we never. Most probably because we're not used to see Godzilla running as well. We always see Godzilla struggling
mm,
to move as well. Huh?
true, true. That could be a part of it as well.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's because he's rejuvenated as well. She. Sorry for assuming your gender, Godzilla.
Yeah, they.
They.
I don't know. Again, like I said, Franco, I hope they go for full campiness for this, full
and
fun. It
and
doesn't need to be a
even
good movie. It just needs to be a fun movie.
even the kids. The kid Kong looks a bit funny.
The Kid Kong is there just to sell
Oh,
toys. Let's
look,
be
this this
honest.
this this is historically accurate, though. This is historically accurate. Kong destroyed the pyramids.
Just as historically accurate as Ridley Scott's Napoleon. I think we can
Napoleon.
compare the two in their historical accuracy.
I mean, to be fair, Ostia, this looks unfinished as well. I'm not now. I'm
hmm
noticing. I'm noticing.
hmm
It,
Very
it,
unfair. But to be fair, again, we have to think like what the leeway we gave for Furiosa, we have to give also to this movie.
for sure. I mean, because I did the hand coming up from the sand was amazing. Yes, like that seeing that on a big screen on an IMAX. Illa la Kiko. What an amazing experience it would be. No, but I'm noticing.
Unfortunately,
I'm
in
noticing.
Malta.
I'm noticing even now. It's like there's no. If you look at the distance, like where there are the mountains, there should be a sort of like sheen where you don't see
Mm,
anything clearly. I think it's unfinished. Anka certain green, the contrast looks kind of off.
mm. Yeah. But I mean, so far, at least, let's be honest, so far, with regard to visuals, I don't think we've been disappointed with the Godzilla and Kong movies. So I'm quite confident that, like, visually, it's going to look great. What I have been disappointed in some cases, were the characters. By the way, I need to watch the 2019 one, the Godzilla 2019 one,
King of Monsters.
King of Monsters. That I haven't watched.
Um,
I need to. I download. I have it on my laptop. I'll put it up on Plex
I,
sometime this week.
look, I'm gonna say, don't give a shit about the characters. Switch off and enjoy the battle scenes because the
I
battle
will,
scenes
100%.
were well
100% will
made
do.
and like I enjoyed it. It's not one of the best. It was like a guilty pleasure, like me and Transformers.
Good. Definitely will be doing that. All right. And with that, that's it with regard to trailers. So, viewers and listeners, let us know in the comment section below your thoughts on all the exciting trailers we've talked about in the podcast so far. Let us know in the comment section below your thoughts and your expectations for all that geek stuff, right? We had The Boys, Halo, Fallout, Furiosa, The Crown, House of the Dragon, Godzilla X Kong. It's a mouthful, but all exciting stuff. Moving on. So, really quickly, can I just say, Franco, that David Zaslav and Bob Iger are both, I think, big idiots. We're not going to get into too much detail. I just want to mention this, just to say they're idiots, and if you want to comment about it, you can. But first of all, David Zaslav saying canning Batgirl was necessary, I think, is ridiculous. From what I've heard, and I've seen lots of interviews with people who worked on Batgirl and so on, it sounds like it was an interesting concept. There were some interesting concepts there, but David Zaslav came in and scrapped everything. Just tornado, destroyed everything. Another comment, another very ignorant comment, is the comment by Bob Iger, who commented about the Marvels and why the Marvels failed, saying it's a lack of supervision, which for me is insane. The fact that your takeaway from the Marvels and why it failed is because you think there was a lack of supervision, for me, shows me that Marvel, the future of Marvel, is still worrying. Because it means that Bob Iger hasn't understood the issue there with what happened with the Marvels. And he's obviously, what he's doing there is throwing Nia DaCosta, the director, under the bus, which they've been doing quite a lot already, to be honest, with Nia DaCosta. Surprise, surprise, this is also a black female director. I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, that is the director they're throwing under the bus. They never threw the director of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania under the bus. They never threw Taika Waititi under the bus for making, again, in my opinion, very bad movies. So what happened here? Honestly, The Marvels, for me, is a better movie than Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and is a better movie than that fucking shit Thor movie that we got. Obviously, The Marvels was the final straw for many people who are like, we're done with this shit, right? We're done with this shit. We can't take this anymore. But if your takeaway from that is that there's a lack of supervision, I'm sorry, but Bob Iger does not understand all the big issues that there are with the Marvels. Franco, I don't know if you want to comment about both these comments.
No, we've been there, done that, I guess. But and like I told you, it feels like they're making it a point for diverse directors and movies made by diverse directors to fail. It seems like they're making it a real point about it. So, like you said, they're throwing them under the bus. There was lack of supervision, yada yada. It's like if there was lack of supervision, means you weren't doing your job properly, Bob Iger. You are the supervisor over here. You know, I mean, if you're saying there's lack of supervision, you also have lack of self-awareness, fella.
That's it is what it is. Again, hearing these comments does not make me confident at all about the future for Marvel. Anyways, it's December, and Franco, first big awards.
It's the most
you know how much I love
wonderful time of the year.
Apart from it being Christmas, you know how much I love award season. So let's have a quick look at the winners and the losers at New York Film Critics Circle Awards. We've got the whole list at the end. Best first film, Past Lives. What do you think, Franco?
Oh yeah, for sure. I wish we could have interviewed the director. I messaged her, but unfortunately it didn't go through. But like the interview didn't go through. But for sure, best first film. The last few moments,
The taxi scene.
My heart a million pieces.
Powerful stuff. So yeah, I think it's very well deserved. Past Lives. Whilst I wasn't the biggest fan of Past Lives, I can definitely appreciate the craft going on there and the performances. Again, emotionally, it didn't hit me as strong as I thought it would. Maybe it needs a rewatch. But again, I can appreciate the craft behind Past Lives.
This is your After Sun, basically.
No. After Sun, I loved After Sun.
No, but like this is.
What After Sun was for you. Exactly. Best animated feature, The Boy and the Heron. We haven't watched that so far. It hasn't released in Malta, so we can't comment about that, but definitely excited to see that. I haven't heard about this movie, Franco. I don't know if you've heard about it.
Menu
Menu
plaisir.
Plaisir.
Les trois gros. Les trois gros. No idea what it is. Let me have a. Let's check it out.
Never heard of it. Oh, it's the French restaurant one. A 93-year-old director embeds inside a French restaurant that's held 3 Michelin stars for more than 50 years.
Ooh,
It's
okay.
4 hours long. Holy shit.
And it's Frederick Weissman, man.
4 hours long. Holy shit, that's a long movie. Jesus. But I love movies about. I love movies about restaurants and like the restaurant world. There was The Pig, which I love. There was The Menu, which again recently I loved. So these kinds of movies I love. This looks like a more realistic take on the whole like world of French cuisine and French restaurants and the Michelin star. I hope it goes a bit into the more like evil side of it all, and then going into like all it takes to maintain those Michelin stars. This is an interesting one. I'll definitely be checking it out when it's available for us. Moving on, back to the awards, and next award is for Best Supporting Actor, Charles Melton, whom I will be reviewing very soon in May, December. Personally, I think this is a very, very, very well-deserved award. I think the competition here is between Charles Melton and oh my God, what's his name? Sessa, who was in The Holdovers. Dominic Sessa, who was in The Holdovers. For me, those were the two best. And also, obviously, Robert Downey Jr. We have to mention also Robert Downey Jr. in Oppenheimer. I think he's also probably going to be a big favorite for the Oscar. So that's Best Supporting Actor. Best Supporting Actress, Davine Joy Randolph in The Holdovers. Again, very well deserved. I'm going to be reviewing The Holdovers later on as well. And I think this definitely, like I said, very, very well deserved award. Davine Joy Randolph is fantastic in The Holdovers. Next one. Franco, what do you think about Best Cinematography for Heute von Hoytema and Oppenheimer?
I mean, look at my expression.
Duh.
Duh.
And obviously, right? I don't think there's much to say about that.
Exactly.
Duh. Excited to get my Blu-ray player, Franco. And the first movie I'm getting is the Oppenheimer 4K.
Yep.
Which unfortunately is completely sold out everywhere. But I will find it somehow. That movie, man, Oppenheimer, that's a cultural phenomenon. Cultural phenomenon, that movie has become Oppenheimer. Completely sold out, all the Blu-rays. A cultural phenomenon. It's insane what Nolan has created there. I'm so happy that a movie like that has become so popular, because it means in the next 3-4 years we're going to be getting a lot of Oppenheimers.
Which makes me wonder how was film conserved back in the 60s? It makes me wonder. It's like they had to buy some like 8mm for them to to say I have a physical copy of that movie. It's really interesting. Or they just went to the cinema and wait for it until it's showed on TV. Who knows?
Best international film, Anatomy of a Fall, which unfortunately I have still not watched. Have you watched it, Franco?
I've seen it. Francesca has seen it as well. It makes sense. Makes sense. Like last time we did review it last time as well. Anatomy of a Fall.
Oh, yes. True. I forgot about that. Best Screenplay, May, December. Again, I'm going to be reviewing it. Again, I think very, very well deserved. The writing for May, December is perfection. Best Actor. I haven't watched Passages. Franz Rogowski. Did you? No, Joe had watched Passages. Did you watch?
I haven't
Passages?
seen it either. No.
It's one I have to check out, definitely. And that's
Okay.
Passages. I thought, you know what? I think one of the movies which I think will be a sleeper hit for Best Actor is Rustin, which I reviewed last week with, oh my God, what's his name? Rustin with, give me a second, with Coleman Domingo. His performance as Rustin, I think, is up there. Huh? I think it's going to be up there for the awards. Best Actress, Lily Gladstone. Interesting that Lily Gladstone is for, I guess it makes sense that she's Best Actress. Her role is kind of like goes to a side midway through the movie, which was why I assumed it would be for Best Supporting Actress. But she's Best Actress here, Killers of the Flower Moon, and I think very well deserved. I think she was.
Mm.
Tonally perfect, pitch perfect performance in Killers of the Flower Moon. Best Director, obviously, right? Christopher Nolan. I think that's going to be a one award that is going to be very hard to compete in. And Best Film, interesting. Killers of the Flower Moon taking Best Film. What do you think, Franco?
Uh, I don't know. It's a bit. I'm not convinced, to be fair. I mean, it's like no. If Scorsese loves New York, and if like the New York's film critic circle didn't give the award to Martin Scorsese, it would have been like kind of like a huge
That's true, right?
surprise.
That's
You
true.
know,
Martin Scorsese and New York, like, there's no way he's not winning Best Film. That's true. That's true. That's true. That's very true. By the way, I agree with this. I mean, I might be spoiled, but you know what will happen now? Now, when it's the Christmas holidays, I'll rewatch all my top 6-7 movies, and my top 10 list will definitely change. I'm quite confident it's going to change with a rewatch and watching all of them together, like I did last year and the year before. So I'm pretty confident that list is going to change. But right now, I have to be honest. Killers of the Flower Moon on my Letterboxd list is at number 1. And for me, it was my favorite movie so far in 2023. But again, I'll rewatch and see what I think about that. So overall, Franco, any of these awards which you think are completely wrong?
Best film.
Best film. Best film.
Because I would have for this year, I would have given it to maybe. What did I watch? I have to get my letterbox up ship shape. Because I haven't been logging I haven't been logging my watched movies. But most probably, I would say Oppenheimer is in the top 3 for sure.
Oh, definitely. Oppenheimer, there's Spider-Man,
Barbie, Barbie would be in the top 10, but not
top
in
10.
the
Top 10. I loved Barbie, yeah, but I don't think it's top 3.
No, it's not top 3.
Joe isn't here. So going to react to that. And obviously, Killers of the Flower Moon for me. I know it probably won't be in your top 5, maybe top 10.
No, I think it would be an honorable mention for sure. Because it's just there was something off about it, but it's not a bad movie per se. It's not like what is it like? It's not Napoleon level. It's not Napoleon level. Okay, it's better than okay, but it's not. I didn't feel it's Scorsese's best neither.
Fair enough. Anyways, to our viewers and listeners, let us know in the comment section below. Do you agree with the awards? And what do you think about all the news? Bob Iger and David Zaslav and their stupid comments as usual. Please shut up and let the creatives do their job and don't intrude with their work. I think supervision is the least of problems you have right now at Disney. Talking about Disney, we've got a bunch of reviews, and we've got Disney's latest animated movie, Wish, to review. We've got what else do we have? We've got the Holdovers to review. We've got May, December to review, and we've got Thanksgiving to review. Franco, you said you need to leave. Do you want to get Thanksgiving done? And
no, we can start with Wish and then go to Thanksgiving, and then I leave you with the rest.
Mela, let's get into Wish. Start off with Wish. So I went into this kind of hoping for the best. I'm going to be honest. I went to this quite positive. I was like, it's a Disney animated movie. How bad can it be? Like, I've quite enjoyed the recent Disney animated movies like Raya and the Last Dragon and Encanto. I didn't love Encanto. I liked Raya and the Last Dragon. Frozen, I liked as well. So most of their animated stuff has been great. I mean, if nothing else, you've got beautiful animation, right? Wrong, because we got Wish. Directed by Chris Buck and Fawn Vera Suntorn. Sorry for butchering your surname, Fawn. And from a screenplay by Jennifer Lee and Alison Moore. Now, obviously, from the title, you can probably guess it that it's inspired from the central theme of Wishes, which is again a central theme for many of Disney's classic movies. wishing upon a star, right? So that's a central theme, obviously, of this movie as well. The story for Wish focuses on a 17-year-old girl whose name is Asha, voiced by Ariana DeBose, who is great, by the way, who lives in the kingdom of Rosas. Anyways, one day she makes this passionate plea to the stars in a moment of need, and which leads her to a star actually coming down, as you can see there in the image as well on your screens. And this magic star falls down from the sky, and obviously that leads to this big conflict between Asha and King Magnifico. Now, this leads me to one of the big. Actually, let me start with the positives because I always like to focus on the positives mostly, but it's a little hard with this movie to focus on the positives. The voice acting in this movie is great. I think Chris Pine, Ariana DeBose, and Alan Tudyk are fantastic. They're great energy, great singing. Although we'll comment about the songs in a little bit. Very energetic. They're tonally great. They know what this movie is going for. Although I don't know what this movie is going for. But overall, as a movie, I think Wish really benefits from fantastic voice acting. I really need to mention, by the way, Chris Pine. Chris Pine is so good in this. I want to hear Chris Pine as an evil king in a good Disney animated movie or a good Pixar animated movie. That would be fantastic. I want to hear that because Chris Pine is having such a good time in this movie. It's just a pity that everything else in this movie is bad. One other thing I want to mention is there is one good song, in my opinion. Now, again, I'm completely ignorant about songs, so I might be completely wrong about this. I'm not very confident when commenting about songs, but I went out of this movie actually humming one of the songs, which is This Wish. I think that's honestly a really good song. It's honestly, it's a banger for me. And obviously it's sung by the amazing Ariana DeBose, who's a fantastic singer. Last time I saw her, I think was West Side Story, which was bloody great in that. Winning, she won Best Supporting Actress, right, in that?
I should
believe
think so.
so.
Yeah.
I mean, she definitely deserved it. So again, her voice, Ariana DeBose, is just perfection. And overall, I mean, both her voice acting and Chris Pine's voice acting lend to giving their characters much more charisma than their characters actually deserve, which leads me to the negatives. You're going to hear me use these two words a lot, Franco, in this review: bland and uninspired, because everything about this movie is bland and uninspired. Whether it is the characters, whether it is the animation and the style of animation and the weird decisions that went into the animation style, whether it's the music, whether it's the story, whether it's the themes it touches upon, everything is so bland and so uninspired. It's boring. It's a 1 hour, 30-minute boring Disney animated movie, which is very worrying because it's 1 hour and 35 minutes. Anyways, one of the great things about Disney movies, Disney animated movies, and Pixar animated movies is that they can be enjoyed by both kids and adults because, the kids enjoy the animation and the fun creatures and so on. There's some fun little elements. Whilst the adults can appreciate some of the mature themes that many of these Pixar and Disney movies go for. Unfortunately, here, honestly, not just for adults, but even for kids. I think kids will get into this, probably enjoy the animation, but come out of it quite meh. I don't think that was great because not only are the themes, uninspired, but the animation itself. Look at the animation. It's boring. It's bland. It's no colors pop out. Look at Encanto. Look at stuff like Frozen, Moana, 2016 Moana. Beautiful colors popping out. The animation, different picture. And this is a year in which we got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Across the Spider-Verse. We got some great animated movies. If this is Nimona is the perfect movie to contrast with this. That animation is so beautiful and contrasted to this blandness. Anyways, so the art style itself, I looked it up. What was the inspiration for the art
Mm.
style? Basically, it's a combination of computer animation, and they're going for Disney's historical hand-drawn animation, which I think they completely fail at doing. Because I grew up watching all those different beautiful Disney hand-drawn animations, and there was something fascinating, something that haunted me with so many of those beautiful Disney movies and so many images that will be stuck in my head, whether it's Hunchback of Notre Dame, whether it's Mulan, whether it's Lion King, whether it's going back to Pinocchio and all those beautiful Disney movies. Watching this, I'm sorry, but bland, bland, bland. Where are the colors popping? Where are the interesting creatures and characters? Some of this, Franco, honestly, feels unfinished. I have to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Some of it feels unfinished, honestly. Some of the backgrounds and the scenery in the background feels unfinished. And so bland, so bland. Nothing pops out, nothing feels impressive. Anyways, the characters. I went out of the movie and I'm like, wait, who are the characters? All right, there was Asha. Obviously, she's the main character, right? There's King Magnifico, and I remember them because of Ariana DeBose and Chris Pine. There's the funny what's his name? I forgot his name. Voiced by Alan Tudyk. I can't remember the character's name.
I mean, you just said anyway.
Valentino. But I remember them because of the three voice actors. That's it. That's why I remember them. Because the voice actors do have such a great job. Because the characters are so underwritten. And Chris Pine's character, King Magnifico, he starts off as like the king, the handsome king who rules and takes care of his kingdom, right? Then at one point, sorry for spoilers, but I don't want you to go watch Wish. Then there's one point where there's like a snap. I'm the evil king, and now I'm going to kill everyone. What the fuck? Where the hell did this come from? I was like, I turned to my imaginary friend because I was watching this on my own, as I should have. I deserve to watch this on my own. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? How did this guy suddenly go from being like the beloved ruler to this evil, crazy king? I don't know. I don't get what they were going for. So such a sad state of affairs with the writing for the characters. Sad state of affair also for Asha's friends. Apparently, I looked this up. They were inspired by the Seven Dwarves. If you had to ask me who were her friends, I have no idea who they were. I don't remember one thing about them because there's nothing to remember about them. Completely forgettable characters. The music. And I'm going to conclude with this. With the music, the music, there's one very good song. The Swish, very good song. I really like it. I'm humming it till this day. But one song is not enough. And again, we don't talk about Bruno either. Why are the lyrics? I was listening to some of the songs. I was like, Jesus, I can't keep up with some of these lyrics. They're so complicated. I'm like, I wonder what kids would think about this if I'm not keeping up with some of the lyrics. The songs are not good. They're not memorable. The voice, I mean, don't get me wrong. Again, the singing is great. The voices are fucking fantastic. But the songs themselves are bland and uninspired. For a Disney movie, man, I'm saying songs are bad in a Disney movie. That's worrying. That's really worrying. Anyways, overall, it's a very disappointing movie. Again, lazy, uninspired in all its aspects. Should you go watch Wish? I mean, if you've got kids, I probably would recommend going to watch Trolls more than watching this. I think Trolls looks like a much more inspired, much more beautifully animated movie than Wish. And honestly, I would highly recommend watching something like Mona, watching something like Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse over this. Rating, maybe a 2. Between a 1.5 and a 2.
Okay.
I think I'm going to go for a 2. I think 1.5 would be very, very unfair. A 2. So that's my review for Wish. Franco, let's get into Thanksgiving. So
Thanksgiving.
Bring up
Thanksgiving. We went to watch this tomorrow. It was a great experience. I have to say, it's my first horror movie that I've seen in a cinema, because usually I've watched horror at home. And the story of Thanksgiving, first we see the event that is the inciting incident to the killings a year later. So, following the tragedy, exactly. So, after a Black Friday riot ends in tragedy, a mysterious Thanksgiving inspired killer terrorizes Plymouth, Massachusetts, the birthplace of the infamous holiday. And basically, this killer is out on and taking revenge of all those who were involved in these riots. I'm not gonna say anymore. Just go into this, to the people watching right now. Go into this with an open mind. Fun movie. What else? Humorous. Like it has a mean sense of humor, like a mean streak to it. But it also has a slight political edge to it, a bit too on the nose, obviously, because it's
It's done on purpose, though, right? It's done
yeah,
on
it's
purpose,
good,
being on the
good.
nose.
Yeah, it's very on the nose. It's slasher. It's Eli Roth. I remember telling you I quite liked the main actress. I found her
Yes. Her name is.
Delacade, something Vera Delacade, if I'm not mistaken.
That was
Or
Jessica Hanel
oh, okay,
Verlac. Oh, I don't know how to say that
Nell
surname. Sorry.
Nell Verlac, yes.
Verlac. Yeah.
And yeah, she was quite good at that. And what did you think of the killer?
And I think it's hard to comment about this without going into spoilers. And I don't, again, like you said, I don't want to go into spoilers because Thanksgiving is a movie you should watch, again, like you said, with an open mind. The build up to the obviously the reveal of who the killer is fantastic. I think this is a kind of movie that can become a Thanksgiving classic, honestly, because again, like you said, the humor is fantastic, very on the nose, political commentary and like commentary about society, especially focused on certain elements about the American society, consumerism, and so on. Great stuff. Great, great, great stuff. Really good stuff. And I like that it's on the nose. It's literally bashing you on the head with its message. Ha 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 ha. Right?
Yep.
And I mean,
And
so obviously,
speaking of nose, there was also one of the deaths, the kills in this movie are inventive and at the same time.
yes, that's also something I want to say. Inventive kills. So good to see a slasher movie coming up with such creative, inventive kills. Great stuff. Keep it up.
There are moments. If I have to say one moment which made me laugh out loud, and I remember this because even when I was retold this scene to my father, and he also laughed. And my father is not a horror fan whatsoever. That there was this woman where he basically um, first he pushes her head down the water, and there's also like even her hands get wet. And then the killer, what he does is they open the door to the walk-in freezer and smashes the woman against this walk-in freezer. And obviously the woman gets stuck, and she as she tries to try and escape, the skin comes off. And then she tries to call, but since the her
With her bloody
fingertips,
hand.
yeah. Adrian McAuliffe, Wonka, yes. No, that Wonka's giving. No, it's not Wonka's giving. It's Thanksgiving.
I'm looking forward to watching Wonka. Adrian, it comes out. I believe it comes out on Friday. Yeah, it comes out on Friday in Malta.
When
We'll
did you watch it,
definitely be
Keith?
reviewing.
Certain kill season Thanksgiving were executed too quickly.
Hmm.
Mm,
Mm, which scenes was I? It's hard to comment about this without giving spoilers. Would you say any
I
of the
I
kills
I
were?
think maybe Yulia was quite.
Yes, yes, yes. Julia one, yes. But it's not something that I'm going to be honest, Keith. It's not something that really stuck out to me, like negatively. Like I would say most of the kills were quite developed well. Like the opening kill, for example,
Oof.
great stuff, really good stuff, like great horror elements, the tension that develops, and then is the person going to make it? Yes, no, yes, yes, oh no, and then the final boom. That was great stuff, and
Exactly.
like, and this is something, Franco, that you alluded to as well, right? Like watching this with an audience was a great experience.
Yeah, because
First
the
of all,
trampoline
trampoline
scene.
scene. Yes, fair enough,
Oh,
fair
fair
enough, fair
enough.
enough. But I liked the trampoline scene. I have to be honest as well. I laughed out so much in that scene. So much in that. I
Oh my
laughed
god.
out so much in the trampoline scene. But Franco, watching
Are
this with an
are
audience
are we evil? Are we evil? Because
and watching it with an audience, and I think the people who are in the audience were big fans of horror. You can tell because
yes,
everyone was
yes, yes, yes.
super quiet during the scenes where you're supposed to be quiet. And then when like one of these big kill scenes happen, you hear, "Ah!" and
Oh,
everyone
yeah,
shouting.
exactly.
Great stuff, great stuff.
Or when in fact the first kill people went like oh
Yes, yes, yes,
everyone
yes.
went like that.
You can tell everyone was enjoying themselves a lot in this movie, which is one of the big reasons why I enjoy watching these movies so much in the cinema.
And Eli Roth is I don't know if he did anything else. I remember watching Hostel of his. Um, uh, I think it was Hostel, if I'm not mistaken. Only the first Hostel I saw, but otherwise I didn't see.
Ah, which Sergeant Donnie don't know it. Oh my god.
Yes, when he was in when he was in Inglorious Bastards, it's quite over the top.
Yes, yes, very over the top. And the Italian accent. Oh my god. The Coco.
Collarme.
He was he was
The
no,
cock.
not Dominic. The Coco or
I think so.
no, Gorlami.
Gorlami was Brad Pitt.
Well, that was Brad Pitt. That was Brad Pitt. Yeah, it's so good. But I'm very much looking forward now that I know that he's doing the Borderlands movie. I'm looking forward to that, man. That's again, that is perfect or a perfect movie to take after a movie like this, like Thanksgiving. Because again, Borderlands is again lots of like so- this political commentary, lots of good humor,
Mm-mm-mm.
and also again obviously very bloody, very very bloody, lots of different weapons and
Yeah, the
uh,
practical effects
great
amazing.
stuff,
So
great stuff. I hope that for Borderlands he's given the opportunity to again use lots of practical effects and lots of gore for Borderlands because he clearly knows his way around the horror. Now it'll be interesting to see how he tackles Borderlands. I'm super excited for that.
yeah, he had the
In conclusion, Franco.
he
Yeah,
had
Franco.
Green Inferno. He had Knock Knock. Apparently, Knock Knock though is a bit of a cult thing, but I don't know. In conclusion, no, please go watch it. I mean, it's a genuinely fun watch. Not for the week of heart and week of stomach as well.
Definitely.
And yeah, it's a good first date movie. No. But funny enough, there were couples watching the movie.
Yes,
So
there
if
were, there were,
if,
there were.
if you are a couple and you enjoy your horror, please watch it in the cinema because it's a different experience than watching it at home, cozy at home.
Rating, Franco.
I'd give it a 3.5 on 5.
Yes, I agree. 3.5 out of 5, I think. Well deserved 3.5 out of 5 for Thanksgiving. So, Thanksgiving, go watch it. It's a great time at the cinema. And with that, I'm going to move on to the holdovers. And Franco,
Good night,
I'm going to bid
guys.
you farewell and good
Good,
night. Thank you as
good
always
night.
for joining.
Thank you, Andrea, for doing this, and thank you guys for joining us as well. Do subscribe, do like, keep Andrea company while he speaks about he goes on about May, December, and how Julia Moore and Natalie Portman would give great performances, and holdovers how Paul Giamatti is also giving great performances.
Exactly.
Anyway,
You basically spoiled my reviews.
oh shit. Okay, this is my time to fuck off, basically. Bye, guys,
Ciao,
and have
ciao,
a good night.
Franco.
Ciao.
Good night, Franco. All right, guys. So with that, let's get into the final two reviews of the day. I'm going to start off with The Holdovers, which I got to watch with my family and had a very, very good time watching it with my family. I think this is a great family watch. Honestly, if there's one movie you want to watch with your family this Christmas holidays, it is The Holdovers. Anyways, The Holdovers, directed by Alexander Payne, written by David Hemmingson, and starring Paul Giamatti, Davine Joy Randolph, and Dominic Sessa. Set in 1970, it follows a curmudgeonly history teacher at a New England boarding school who is forced to chaperone the handful of students with nowhere to go over Christmas break. And to start off with the positives, obviously, like Franco spoiled already, I have to get into the performances. First of all, we've got Paul Giamatti in his role as Paul Hunnam, a classical history teacher at Barton, who once more confirms why he is one of the most underrated actors in all of Hollywood. Honestly, such a fantastic performance, full of nuance, but some great comedic timing and very good physical acting as well in this movie. So Paul Giamatti, hats off, fantastic performance by him, fantastic lead performance. I, however, have two standout performances I want to comment about. First of all, I need to comment about Davine Joy Randolph's performance as Mary Lamb, who is the Barton head cook and obviously bereaved mother, who lost her son in Vietnam. Honestly, her performance very powerful performance, in which she dominates the screen. Again, some great humor from her, but that humor, this is something that Marvel really need to learn from, right? When you've got great dramatic scenes with Davine Joy Randolph giving such a fantastic performance, heartbreaking, so sad at times, but never falls into too much melancholy. Her character, tries to change the mood with some humor, and she does it in such a subtle, such a nuanced way. Great humor in what could have honestly been a one-note performance, but she transforms it into so much more. So Davine Joy Randolph, I completely understand why she is being considered a front runner for the best supporting actress. Dominic Sessa, however, honestly, is my standout. Dominic Sessa, in his first performance as Angus Tully, he is also a Barton student. He's also a Barton student, and honestly, perfect performance. Honestly, perfect breakout performance. The way he manages to be both an asshole in this movie, yet also such a sweet kid, and you manage to empathize so much with this kid who was left over in his college over Christmas. You can tell how much he wanted to spend time with his family, with his mother, but unfortunately, he was left there. Pitch perfect performance on his debut on the big screen. And I am so looking forward to seeing Dominic Sessa in future movies. Now, other positives. Great writing. This is such a great writing for this movie. I hope to see The Holdovers nominated for Best Screenplay because honestly, this is great stuff. This is a great, heartwarming, character-driven drama and strong emotional moments, great humor as well. Honestly, it's a fantastically written movie. And the way it manages to explore the central theme of love is done so well. It's great stuff. And it's not just, the love you find with a partner. It could be love in so many things, whether it's love for your job, it could be platonic love, it could be love, friendship, it could be the love you find with your family. The exploration done here in this movie and the central theme of love is done so well. Um, Such a beautifully shot movie. So I did some research about how this movie was shot, because the whole aesthetic of this movie is very, early 70s, right? And everything about it, whether it's the way it's shot, whether it's the colors, whether it's the style of the movie, whether in every aspect, whether it's the music, it's very, very period accurate. And so this movie apparently was shot with an Alexa Mini with Panavision H series lenses, and it's got some great period accurate colors and the style as well, which was achieved apparently mostly in post. And it's beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. And the cinematography obviously as well helps a lot with this. The cinematography here is stunning. We see New England portrayed in all its winter glory, beautifully portrayed. The college itself, Barton, is beautifully, beautifully showed as well. So the setting and the way it's shot, again, great stuff. You can tell, right, watching this movie, that a lot of love and care has gone into the making of this movie. And to conclude with my positives, honestly, the kind of emotions that I felt in this movie, it's just, I haven't felt these kind of emotions in a very long time. Now, I'm the kind of person, obviously, you'll know, I watch a ton of different movies, but watching the Holdovers brought such great emotions in this. And I've seen this comment made a lot, right? That it's a movie that feels like a cup of hot chocolate and a warm hug on a cold Christmas evening. But I think it bears repeating, because that is exactly the feeling I got watching this movie. Are there any negatives for the Holdovers? Honestly, there's one small negative, which is not the ending per se, because I think the ending is fantastic, but it has the kind of the return of the king problem where, okay, the movie's ending. Oh, no, it's not. Another scene. Oh, okay, this is a great ending for the movie. Oh, wait, we've got another scene. This is a great ending for this movie. Oh, wait, we've got another scene. So, again, too many endings, but the final actual ending is very powerful, and it's a great scene and beautifully shot as well. And again, Paul Giamatti acts his heart out. Overall rating for the Holdovers, I would say I think the Holdovers well deserves a 4 out of 5. I think it's one of the best movies of the year. You will see the Holdovers in my top 10 of the year. I'm going to come out right out and say it. My final movie is May December, and I also think that May December will also be making an appearance in my top 10 of the year, because May December, Netflix's May December, is another bloody fantastic movie. So let's get into May December. May December, directed by Todd Haynes, from a screenplay by Sammy Birch, based on a story by Birch and Alex Mechanic. I'm not sure how to say the surname. Sorry, Alex, for butchering your surname. Anyways, the movie is loosely inspired by the story of Mary Kay Letourneau. The film follows an actress, that is Natalie Portman, who travels to Georgia to meet and study the life of this very controversial woman, Julianne Moore. Obviously, Natalie Portman's character is set to play in a film about Julianne Moore's character, who's a woman who is infamous for her relationship, or for her very long relationship with her husband. Obviously, the important point to make here, it is impressive how Dominic Sessa manages to go toe-to-toe with Paul Giamatti. Keith, I 100% agree with you. You've got a fantastic actor in Paul Giamatti with a fucking great performance. Dominic Sessa opposite him, great. There was not one moment, Keith, where I was like, you can tell this is a kid, right? And he doesn't have that much experience. Great. His facial expressions. There are some moments there which were heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking. So great stuff from Dominic Sessa. And talking about great supporting performance, we have to talk about Charles Melton, whose character in this movie is basically this. Unfortunately, I have to talk about it, right? It's the movie itself. First met Julianne Moore's character when he was 13 years old. So their relationship started when they were 13. Natalie Portman's character, who is an actress, actress Elizabeth Berry, visits, obviously, Gracie and Joe. Joe, who is now 36. And Gracie was 36 in that scene, so she's 36, 46, 56. Who is now 66, 36, 46, 56, 59, who's 59 in the movie itself. Anyways, let's get into it. So, positives for May, December. I have to say, incredible performances. Frank obviously spoiled my review. I'm joking, but fantastic performances by all. I thought Natalie Portman in this was great as actress Elizabeth Berry. I thought she was fantastic throughout. There is one particular monologue. You'll know when you watch it. I don't want to spoil it, but such a great scene, such a great scene. Great monologue. And the final scene, we see one final scene with Natalie Portman. Again, I won't spoil it, but I'm sure that scene will be one she will use for a Best Actress nomination attempt. Julianne Moore as Gracie Atherton Yu has a very particular character. Her character, obviously, Gracie, who in 1992, when Gracie was 36, was caught having sex with 13-year-old Yu, a schoolmate of her son, Georgie, at the pet store where they both worked. And her character is an interesting one, right? Obviously, lots of great characters here. Even Natalie Portman's character, Elizabeth Berry, very great character there, and I'll get into it in a little bit. Julian Moore's character is very manipulative, very, very manipulative. And we see the way she tries to manipulate her husband, Joe, the way she kind of deals with arguments with her husband, super manipulative, emotionally, especially very emotionally manipulative. So it's a fantastic, fantastic role for Julianne Moore. And I think she does such a great job in this movie. And finally, my standout for the movie, Charles Melton. Charles Melton as Joe Yu, and I think this is best supporting actor worthy performance with so many memorable scenes. I'm just going to mention two, which out of context, they're not really going to spoil anything here. But Charles Melton, his character Joe, has one scene where he has this kind of standoff with Gracie. And in this scene, Gracie tells him that it was he who seduced her. And his response is like, but I was 13 years old. And that scene will remain stuck in my head. I don't think I'll ever forget that scene. Because seeing Charles Melton's like facial expression and his emotions in that scene, and being like, listen, this person has manipulated me all my life. And his response is obviously very apt. Like, I was 13 years old. There is no way Joe was the person with the power in hand. Gracie was 36 years old. So that scene was great. There's also another very good scene, in my opinion, one of the best scenes I've watched all year, which is a scene where Joe and Charlie share a cannabis joint, and Joe has this kind of breakdown. First of all, obviously, we find out that Joe himself had never smoked before, which obviously is a sign to us from very, very good writing, by the way, from the writers to show us that, listen, this is a person who's gone from his childhood, from being a 13-year-old, to an adult, basically. His teenage years have been completely skipped. But he has this kind of breakdown and weeps into his son's arms and tells him, I can't tell if we're connecting or creating a bad memory, but I can't help it. And honestly, that is such a powerful scene. Great, great stuff from Charles Melton. And I mean, talking about all three actors, they all have such incredible chemistry. I don't get what's going on here, but the scenes between the three leads, between Julianne Moore and Natalie Portman, or Charles Melton and Julianne Moore, or Charles Melton and Natalie Portman herself, there is such great tension between themselves, and the sexual tension going on here is fantastic. There are scenes between Julianne Moore and Natalie Portman which are incredibly powerful. The scene you can see here on my IMDb screen, that is great, where she's talking about the makeup she uses, and that's great stuff. And then like the development of the relationship between the two characters is fantastic stuff. The writing, as you can tell, obviously the writing is some very, very good stuff. The way the movie kind of drip feeds you small tidbits about what happened between, obviously, our two main protagonists, Gracie and Joe. The way the movie kind of drip feeds you that information is so well done. And when you come to the final realization of what that meant for Joe, is great, great stuff. I'm going to conclude here because my voice is about to fail me. The tone in this movie, such dread, is felt throughout this movie. Obviously, we're talking about pedophilia, sexual assault, Very, very heavy topics, and like there's a feeling of dread throughout, which I will not forget. Um, One last thing I wanted to mention, actually, two last things I wanted to mention. First of all, again, just like the Holdovers, this is a visually stunning movie. Chris Blovalt shot this movie. The color choices are very interesting in this. Um, it's a very bright movie, very, very bright movie. But then the colors are quite muted, as you can tell also from the scene itself. You can see there. So you can tell very brightly shot, but then the colors are super muted here. Um, and it sometimes almost feels dreamlike. That's the kind of like the vibe I got from it. Um, is it a dream, however, or is it a nightmare? That's up to you, obviously, up to the viewer's interpretation. Also, some very beautiful scenes. This one in particular, again, I'm going to keep on referring to this scene, where mirrors are used. Such great use of mirrors in this scene. And if you've heard me talk about mirrors before, whether it's my review for the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, whether it's After Sun, I love when you see the reflection of actors in some of these scenes. Great stuff. In conclusion, I think Melton's performance in this is great stuff. I think the way his character was written is fantastic. His performance is great. Definitely going to be at least nominated for Best Supporting Actor. And just the way that Gracie treats Joe as this like kid. He's 36. He's super good looking. He's like this hunky guy. But as you slowly start to explore this character and see that, this isn't the tough, strong jawline, strong male character you thought he was. This is a very fragile guy who's at heart still a kid, very naive, very, very naive. So there's that. In conclusion, also the soundtracks. Such an interesting choice of soundtrack, using the soundtrack for Joseph Losey's The Go-Between. And it does feel campy at times, but that campiness is what this movie was going for. And I can tell, anytime we have this kind of like exploration into like the pedophilia that was going on between Gracie and Joe, I think it's very, very apt, very, very appropriate for the movie. In conclusion, my negatives, I honestly have no negatives to give you. It's well-paced movie, great. I mean, 2 hours, great 2 hours, great performances. Everything about it is very good. And my rating for May, December is, honestly, it well deserves it, a 4.5 out of 5. So I highly, highly, highly recommend May, December. I think it's a fantastic movie to watch. And with that, guys, I'm going to conclude the show. I hope you enjoyed the podcast today. Thank you so much to all our viewers and listeners for watching the Adler podcast. Sorry, my camera got stuck there. Thank you so much to all our viewers and listeners. Thank you for joining us. I can close May, December there. So again, thank you so much to all our viewers and listeners for joining us for today's episode 50 of the Adler podcast. It was great, as always, to have Frank on the show. Unfortunately, Francesca couldn't join us today due to stuff. Hopefully next week we'll also have Joe on the show. And very excited to watch next week, to be up for next week's episode. We've got Video Nazis coming up as well on the 12th, which I'm super excited as well. And with that, we will conclude the show. Thank you to our viewers and listeners. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. As always, follow our Facebook, follow my Twitter, follow our Instagram. And as always, thank you and